Return now to our top story about the Global Sumud Flotilla that is headed to Gaza, and interceptions aboard those vessels have begun by the Israeli Navy. We're going to be joined now by guest Tariq Ra'ouf, a writer and activist, joining us from one of those vessels. Tariq, thank you so much for taking the time. Just tell us, firstly, what is happening around you?
Yes. So we were amongst our fleet, and they were being surrounded by Israeli military ships. And from those military ships, a bunch of smaller military ribs began surrounding many of our vessels. Drones have been surrounding us and flashing us with lights. And we've been getting messages from the Israeli military through our radio saying that we are breaking international law and that we need to stop.
OK. How long has this been happening for now? How long has it been going?
This has been happening for about 2 hours now, a little over 2 hours.
OK. And so are those Navy vessels coming any closer, or how are you responding to them?
We are on our way to Crete. That was what our destination was. We were going to go to Crete because there's a storm coming on our. So we are going to seek shelter there, and then we were going to head to Gaza. And the vessels have still surrounded many of our fleet and many of our boats, and we've lost communications with many of our boats.
OK, you've lost communications because you believe they've been cut, or some other reason?
And it's been extremely infuriating because, yes, they have been cut. Yeah, our communications have been jammed. The IOF has done what they love to do, which is play music through the radio as some sort of psychological warfare tactic. But we are in international waters. And so this is really, truly unprecedented move from Israel because we are nowhere near Gaza yet. And so this is actually really absurd, the fact that they are going after us at this point when we are just trying to carry aid to Gaza.
Tariq, I want to talk to you about the distance. You mentioned that you were going to Crete, so that gives some of our viewers who will be familiar with the region a bit of perspective. You are about 2/3, roughly, along your journey. Are you surprised that the Navy has turned up at this point?
Anyone else wants to fill out power between for?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's extremely surprising because we have, like, the fact that, like, normally what happens for anyone that doesn't normally know is there's a point within the Mediterranean called the Orange Zone. The Orange Zone is the unofficial place where the Israeli military historically has been intercepting the vessels from all of the flotillas over the last 18 years. We are nowhere near that point. There is no precedent for the fervor in which the Israeli military is going after innocent civilians currently on the Mediterranean.
Tariq, I'm just going to check that we've still got you there because the line obviously is a little disconnecting sometimes. If you would like to just finish the last point you made.
Yes, yeah, sorry. It's really tricky to get Wi-Fi in the Mediterranean. What I'm saying is historically speaking, the Israeli military generally only intercepts the Orange Zone, which is about 200 nautical miles away from Gaza, and we're very far from that. So it is truly unprecedented with the fervor that Israel is going after innocent civilians on the Mediterranean for this specific flotilla. It's truly absurd, and this goes to show the extent to which Israel is willing to violate international law because of how deep into international waters we currently are.
Tariq, given the location that you are in, but that you will know, obviously, what has happened in previous flotillas, what concerns do you have for your own safety and what happens from here?
I don't have any concerns for my own safety. My concern is for the people of Palestine, the people in Gaza, the people in the West Bank, and the people constantly bombarded by Israel in Lebanon and in Palestine and all over the world. That's where the concern needs to be. It's where it needs to go. This is just a shining example live on air of how far Israel is willing to go to break international law. And truly, like, we should be far more concerned about the fact that our leaders are allowing Israel to do this repeatedly. Every single time any flotilla tries to go and deliver aid, which is legal according to international law, Israel illegally kidnaps them. And they're doing it again, only even further away from international waters. And I think that more people need to be upset with the way that these governments have allowed Israel to walk all over them and allow them to do whatever they want. I'm not concerned about my own safety. I don't care if the IOF boards this boat. I don't care if the IOF tries to attack us or us, because this is something that the Israel to do. And we need to start caring more about the fact that our politicians and our systems and our leaders and the companies responsible all allow Israel to do whatever they want, and it's truly unacceptable.
Tariq Ra'ouf, a writer and activist joining us from the Global Sumud Flotilla off the coast of Crete. We thank you very much for your time and joining us on Al Jazeera.